Thank you all. Good afternoon, and thank you for that amazing introduction. I really appreciate your words, both of you. I know we have a short amount of time together with such a meaningful and impressive conversation with two of our near and dear partners at Paramount. So I'm going to dive right in with you, Keisha. You are Director of Workforce and External Partnerships with RealWorks. Can you tell us a bit about RealWorks as a program and what you see the value is in work readiness programs where participants are really gaining hands-on experience?
Yeah, thank you, Melissa. RealWorks is a nonprofit organization. We're based in Brooklyn, New York. We've been around for more than 20 years serving the community, initially in Brooklyn and now expanding outside of Brooklyn to Pittsburgh and LA and other areas. Primarily at our core, we're an educational program. We have free filmmaking classes that we've been doing for several years to empower youth and young adults to tell their personal stories, which are very impactful to the community. We, in 2019, partnered with the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, Leah Jones-Harvey, and we created the MediaMkrs program, which is a citywide internship program in partnership with MoM and also with CUNY. So to your point, what we learned in the years of doing the free filmmaking classes was that the individuals we were serving became passionate about wanting to launch careers in entertainment and needed access to do so. And so through the internship program, we were able to create opportunities for them to work with different companies. We have over 80 company partners just here in New York City. We did 175 internships just last year, and that's our third year of doing this program, supported by MoM. And so we've been able to see not only the impact of the hands-on internships, but also how that leads to job outcomes. And then since then, we've started to do job training programs with IATSE, which is the union here, and also with different companies such as Paramount. And so we're excited about just being able to, what we say is bring connect classroom to careers.
Yeah. My own Paramount career began as an 18-year-old intern 20 years ago. So it was that grounding and work experience that led me to where I am today. So I have firsthand knowledge of just how meaningful and impactful that can be.
Yeah.
For you, Aaliyah, you are Associate Commissioner for Workforce Development and Educational Initiatives with the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. In that role, you develop a ton of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives that meet the needs of the most underserved populations in our great city. One of the groups that you work very closely with is those who have been justice involved. So for those that don't know, those that have been involved in the criminal justice system in some way, shape, or form. Can you talk to us a bit about working with that community and some of the programs that you currently have in development to support them?
Well, thank you. Thank you for that question. MoM, which Keisha has been referring to, is our affectionate term for the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. We have been focused on trying to serve the most underserved populations in the city. Throughout our existence, our office, the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. And in that time, we have entered into partnerships to try to reach certain populations, certain communities in the city. One example is our Made in New York animation project, which is a partnership with the Neighborhood Opportunity Network Centers run by the Department of Probation in the city. Just a creative way for us to reach students who we might not otherwise be able to reach. Students that may have tuned out school, that have creative interest and creative energy, but just haven't found that outlet. And so that Made in New York animation project has been able to reach over 2,000 students a year, with 3D animation training as well as art therapy. The way that the program is designed, the students that show proficiency move up into paid internships, as you said, paid internship opportunities, and then we build in career development and exposure to what it might look like to have a career in animation. I have one success story to share. a student that participated in the program. He was at the start of the program 3 years ago. South Bronx Neon Center, came for a year and a half diligently, moved his way up to internship at the center, teaching his peers, his friends, and then was offered an opportunity to work for the Mill, which is one of our premier studios here in the city. The Mill started him out shadowing, and then they were so impressed that they put him in a longer internship. He then went on to get an associate's degree in animation from Hostos Community College, and is finishing his bachelor's degree in fine arts at City College right now, while apprenticing at Pentagram. So it's like we're so excited about these kinds of stories because we feel like the early exposure, to this creative outlet for students that may be tuning out school altogether is the thing that draws them back in. So.
Absolutely. I have goosebumps because I also serve as chair of the board for the National Job Corps Association. So again, work readiness programs can really create a wonderful roadmap for a future career, as I've had myself. So Keisha, I know you have success stories as well for Real Works participants. I've seen firsthand just how amazingly talented many of these student participants are that come from so many different walks of life. Can you share with us one of these great success stories?
Oh man, sure. I'm gonna share two.
Yeah.
Okay, two quick ones. One from our internship program. We had a woman. Her name is Destiny Blackwell. She did our program at RealWorks as a high school student in 2016. And she was enrolled at the time at Brooklyn College. And just for several reasons, financial barriers, she was having a hard time staying in school. And so what's great about our internship program is that we're offering them opportunities while they're in school, but also while they're not. And I remember a specific gap year where her scholarship didn't come in. We were able to get her a position on a live workout show. And so she did that, and later she was able to go back to school, and she worked at NBC. She was on the Amber Ruffin show as a production assistant, and then she was able to get her degree during the pandemic, and now she's working as an executive assistant to a documentary filmmaker. So her story warms my heart because this young lady took probably almost close to 5 years to get her degree at Brooklyn College, but she was able to build her resume throughout. She was able to build her social capital by networking, and she was able to now have a footing in the industry, and she gives back. Like, she comes back to her organization, wants to mentor, wants to spend time mentoring the next generation, and so that's really exciting to me. And the other story I'll share that's also near and dear to my heart is this woman. Her name is Antoinette. She participated in a training program we did for hairstylists this past year. It was in January through April. It was with the union's Local 798 here. And she had been working as a salon, in a salon as a hairstylist for more than 20 years. But her dream was to work on television or on Broadway. And so she did this short training program with us, and now she's currently, I believe, one of the primary hairstylists in the team for Beetlejuice on Broadway. And so that story just warms my heart because she needed access. This is all about access. I love your story about how you guys did that with the TAP program. It takes access, it takes partnerships. And then there's talent out there, and they're just ready for the opportunity.
Yeah, and speaking of talent in New York City, you shared this wonderful stat with me that 78% of New York City public school graduates are going into New York City public colleges and universities. So what kind of programs are there available for current and graduating students in that space?
MediaMkrs.
Yes.
But,
in addition to our program.
But what I think is so exciting about the City University system in New York City is that it is this pool of talent, diverse talent. City University looks like the subway trains, as our film commissioner says, but it is one of the most diverse public university systems in the country, and so recruiting from City University already gives you a rich pool of diverse talent, and so what we've organized through the mayor's office is opportunities for CUNY students to get in front of corporations that are looking for diverse talent, and working with RealWorks and Paramount and corporations that are interested in trying to reach that diverse talent is what we do. So definitely contact me if you are curious about any of the programs that we work on. I will say that the creative industries offer an opportunity for young adults who are not necessarily on the traditional path to find an entree. And one of the exciting things, we were both at another conversation where there was a lot of talk about making a way where there is no way, and we're in this space, right? We're all in this space where we know that that's happened over and over and over again. So just starting to think outside of the traditional recruiting pathways is a part of, I think, what will lead to success in the future with recruiting diverse talent.
Yeah, that's great. As mentioned in our wonderful intro and what we all know as New Yorkers, 2020 was a hell of a year, and it was also a catalyst in so many ways for change. With companies like Paramount and others creating these inclusivity initiatives, where do you see the value? Do you see the continuity in that? And what are the trends in this space when it comes to corporate partnership?
Well, there's immense value in that, and I think yes, 2020 was definitely an eye-opening time for a lot of people, a time of reflection and a time of really considering the spaces they're in and the people they're serving. I think that the trends that I'm seeing is a lot of new initiatives. But also a lot of organizations like RealWorks, who've been doing the work for a long time, being able to connect and get funding and get access to a lot of the companies where in the past maybe just had their priorities shifted towards other things. We're seeing, to your point around hiring, what I love about the partnership we have with Paramount is that this particular program, the Content for Change Academy, is the only program that I know of right now that is available to people who don't have a 4-year degree. We've had such a hard time at trying to get individuals entry-level positions when the entry-level position is really like a mid-level position. Like they want you to come in with 5 years of experience at an entry-level position and a 4-year degree and a 3.0 and all of these things, and that's not the story of everyone here in New York. That doesn't mean that they haven't had internships. That doesn't mean that they don't have drive and passion. That doesn't mean that they don't do after-school programs like RealWorks where they make their own films for a year. It just means that maybe they're working part-time, right, and also going to school. And so what I love about the program that you guys launched and the initiatives that I'm seeing is that people are thinking about other ways to bring talent in. And so for this program in particular, you need a high school, a GED, or an associate's, any of those, right, to be able to get access to this program. I know you're probably going to ask about it, so I won't go into detail, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing hiring managers thinking more creatively. I'm seeing every company have a DEI committee or a diversity CEO or chief diversity officer that's convening the different parts of the company and making sure that equity is at the forefront. My hope is that we don't lose our passion now that we're back in person and we're meeting. My hope is that we continue to foster partnerships and that we continue to bring change. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of progress in a short time, and I think hopefully what we'll see in front of the camera and behind the camera and in advertising departments and in the finance departments is just more people from different skin tones and different backgrounds working collectively on the same goal.
Thank you. And for you?
Okay. I was going to say workforce readiness, which is, really really, what the RealWorks team has brought to all of the programs that we work with is workforce readiness. And so whether you're dealing with a college population that's coming into the workforce, or a population that is training into the workforce and not necessarily going through the college recruitment system, they all need workforce readiness in this day and age. And so that is, I think, one of the biggest trends that I've seen is corporations investing in preparing new recruits to come into their culture.
That's great. In addition to readiness and on-the-job training, we all should also know how important mentorship and sponsorship is. So it's not only getting these wonderful candidates in the door, but it's finding ways that we can collectively support their engagement with our corporations and our nonprofits, and the list goes on. So for both of you, can you talk about mentorship or sponsorship and how it's helped your own career trajectories? Starting with you, Aliyah.
I moonlight as a theater producer, and I have to say that I was in the finance space when my mentor identified that I was more of a creative person than a finance person, and so it was something that came out of left field. I didn't see it as an opportunity, but he asked me to partner with him to produce a Broadway show. This was 15 years ago, and we're 15 shows in now. And it started with him identifying that the skill set that I was utilizing in the space that I was in could be transferred, and I didn't see that at all. And so I think that that's really why mentorship is so valuable. And I would say that, that was just lucky for me that I had this mentor who saw this, and he became my mentor because of a friend who introduced us and said, this is the guy to talk to if you're going into finance. But I know that a lot of the corporations are now setting up formal mentorship programs so that young people actually have a more seasoned person in the company who might be able to see, what path they could be taking that will really turn them on. And so I'm very, very happy to say that mentorship was a valuable part of my career so far.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly add, I'm actually an alumni of RealWorks, which is wonderful. And so when I was in that program in high school, everyone gets, and they still get, a paired one-to-one with a mentor in the industry. I kept that mentor all the way through college and thereafter. I was working in documentary television before coming back to RealWorks in this role. And then I've had several other mentors over the course of the year. Sometimes it's someone who opens up doors for you. Sometimes it's someone who just looks at your resume, or someone that you can just ask a couple of questions to before an interview. So there's, I think that's been really, really impactful. If I can just add, RealWorks is always looking for mentors, and they don't have to be filmmakers. So if you're interested in any capacity, bringing a student to your office, again, that's that work readiness, letting them see a professional setting or doing any sort of career resume reviews or career conversations, we're always open to engaging with companies from all sectors.
Great. So there's no age limit to pursuits of passion and career change. What advice would you give someone in the room today that's looking to shake things up, that might have a non-traditional background but hoping to pursue a career in entertainment?
I'll start off with the woman Antoinette, who I was describing, who was in her mid-40s. She, changed careers. She was working in hair, but now she's doing it on Broadway. This is her second chance at a shot. I also know people who've just come into our different programs not having any industry experience at all, but are looking to, Aliyah talks about those transferable skills. They're there and they're real. And so I think if anyone's interested and passionate enough, just start networking, come to events like this, meet organizations and companies who have the access programs that are available for you.
Yeah, I would say networking access programs and thinking outside the box. What I often find in talking to companies is that they're not aware of all of the workforce programs that the city has organized. And so that's, to me, that's a starting place. If you're looking at transitioning, it's usually a short-lived program that might last for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, but then you're placed into a work environment in this new space. And so to me, that's probably the most direct way. But then, of course, being here with you all is a part of that. So
Beautiful.
thanks.
Well, thank you both. I mean, at Paramount, as you know, our goal is to transform the way the world sees people. We have programs and scripted and unscripted shows from toddlers to, the older citizens that enjoy 60 Minutes and the like. So for us, having diversity of candidates is really important. Folks that come from a wonderful background of diverse experiences that can bring so much color and life to our programming is where we truly shine. So you can learn more about Paramount's Content for Change at contentforchange.paramount.com. If you could both just leave us with information on how to find you, that'd be great.
nyc.gov/MOME is our office.
Awesome. And realworks.org, REEL, like film reel, works.org. And you can learn more about the MediaMkrs program by clicking on a link there and going to a separate website. So you can learn more about our organization that way.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you, everyone.